Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. We are talking today with the folks from Bike Cleveland. We're on with Jacob Van Sickle, who's the executive director, Jason Kuhn, who is in charge of communications and events, and Deltrice Daniels doing outreach and membership and education. Thank you guys for breaking away from what must be maybe your busiest time period ever after 10 years. I don't know, Jacob, what's going on these days? I heard biking is like toilet paper these days. It's so, you can't keep it on the shelf. The bikes are just fine. Are you guys really, really busy right now?
Yeah, right. People are saying we're in this bike boom, and we're hearing it from local bike shops, and we're seeing it, through some of our programs and the number of people participating, even just virtually. People are interested in getting out and getting active.
Yeah. You've been in charge of this thing for a while, and I just want to say congratulations to your whole team for what you've done over the past almost 10 years to bring biking, which was really a cult thing in this town before you guys got involved, and to bring it front and center, both the advocacy, real infrastructure stuff that you guys have left behind. You can feel really proud, and I wonder, Jacob, as you look back over these almost 10 years, what are the maybe one or two things you're like sort of most proud of that are the biggest things that you that you can look back on?
Yeah, I'd say, first and foremost, like you mentioned, I'm really proud of, the team we've put together, and just the advocates out in the community that help us get projects done. Some of the projects I'm most proud of, one early on, we worked pretty hard to get some design changes to Opportunity Corridor, to have a separated bike and pet area in phase 2 and 3, which is currently under construction. So as much as I don't like the project and the money invested into it, at least we were able to get a really high quality bicycle facility included into it. Since we've started, we've advocated for over 70 miles of new bike lanes, and I think those are the things that really get me excited, and I believe Jason and Deltrice, and our members, because that's, like you said, on the ground infrastructure that makes bicycling safer for everybody out there.
Right. You've got this Connecting Communities plan that you are putting together right now, and I know you need people to come online and do a survey. Give us a little brief overview of what that's all about, because it's so powerful to think out ahead in our community and to vision.
Yeah, so Connecting Communities is our plan to really help guide our advocacy work into the future. What facilities does the community see that needs to be completed to finish a gap in the network to make their ride completely stress-free? We're also using it in a way to kind of gauge people's interest in things like protected bike lanes and where those should be installed. On our website, it's bikecleveland.org/connecting-communities. There's a survey people can fill out, and then there's also a mapping tool. People can put pins on a map to let us know, like, here's a great place to ride, or here's a potential opportunity area or a problem area. And then we're working with OHM or OHM advisors to kind of distill all the information to create our plan to really guide our advocacy for infrastructure over the next number of years.
And then you take that to city council meetings, to planning commission meetings. I mean, talk just briefly about what you actually do with this stuff so that when people are giving you this information, they know what Bike Cleveland's going to do with it.
Yeah, so we'll use it, as road projects are being done, to refer to and say, based on our feedback and our Connecting Communities plan, our members in the community really want this to be a facility that connects the bike network, and ideally what type of facility it might be. And, in most cases, we like to think high level in the top of, this should be a protected bike lane, something very stress-free. And then working down the typologies, if a protected bike lane doesn't fit, maybe it's a buffered bike lane, or maybe if that doesn't fit, it's a traditional bike lane. But obviously looking at, what the street is, what the traffic is, what the speed of the traffic is, and using the plan to really inform, what we want to advocate for. And yeah, taking it to city council members and community development corporations, and using our membership as our advocates to push for the changes that we really want to see.
Yeah, and speaking of membership, Deltrice, that's sort of your area, as well as outreach and education. What are you finding that is people's biggest gap, I guess, in education as they come to you guys? Is it something around the protocols of how to ride? Is it mechanical stuff about their bike? Is it the laws? I mean, what kinds of things are you finding that people really need?
Great, that's a great question. It's a mixture of both, honestly. So every month we do a educational series called Bike Smarts every third Tuesday. Currently, our Bike Smarts is virtually. And what I find that our most popular classes that are attended is the DIY wrenching, where it's a hands-on class of how to change your bicycle tire when it's flat. Because that's really what the thing is. You want to go out and ride your bike, but then if you get a flat tire, what's to do? And that will prevent you from going out and riding more. So that class we find to be very popular in attendance. And also our law class. We have a local lawyer who will instruct that class on the laws, because you know how laws are. They have gray areas, and it can be tedious. It could be just unknown. And so we have a lawyer who is versed in that area to teach those classes. So it's a mixture of balance of both of those.
That's cool. So Jason, we're kind of in an ironic situation here where we can't really do events because of COVID. And you're the events guy. And bikers, by the way, love events. They love to bike together. And then they love beer. I don't know what it is, but it's bikes and beer just go together somehow. And we can't do that now, right? On the other hand, ironically, people are biking more than ever, it seems like, right now, because, you know, they're home, they got not a lot to do, they're trying to stay fit. You find that kind of weird right now we're kind of in this weird bind?
It is a bizarre time because normally this time of year, the calendar is absolutely full with ride opportunities across the board of different things you can do on your bike, but all of them have been canceled, like our own have been canceled. And so we find ourselves in this strange period where everything you have to do that you want to do is solo, right? And so that's exactly why we took much of what we did and pivoted everything in that direction. Like we came up with some like rides. We put together some routes for people to do on their own. You know, things like a tour of all the Cleveland script signs since they're so popular. And Cleveland has a massive array of beautiful murals all over town. So we put together a route people can go do something like that and still go out and experience Cleveland and enjoy riding their bike and maybe see things they hadn't seen before. But you bet, it was sad earlier on just watching all the events just drop off the calendar, cancellation after cancellation. It was definitely a sad time to go through and take all those off.
Bikers are very social people, really. They is what I've found from things like Critical Mass, which go back, decades, really, where people just need to feel a part of a group. And I guess even earlier when bikers were sort of a more cult thing, and now it's more mainstream, but they still love to get together. Yeah, Jason, you know, what's cool, I noticed one of your events is Ride to Provide, where you're helping support local hunger centers. Again, this seems like the kind of thing that bikers have a pretty big heart. Something about getting closer to the land, slowing down a little, getting out of your car, makes you feel really connected to your community. Talk about this event and how people can help the hunger centers in our region.
It's something that runs all the way through the end of June. And all we're asking people to do is take a bike ride, right? But we want you to take a bike ride to a local, a convenience store or a grocery store or a dollar store, pick up specific things from a list that we have published on our site, just toiletries and, things like soap and toothpaste, things that like local hunger centers are short on in supply. So ride there, pick up what you see on that list. And then we also have a corresponding list of places that you can take them, like different hunger centers that you can that are ready and waiting for you to drop these items off. Because our cyclists are very empathetic to things like this. We put on like the #1 single day for like donations during Thanksgiving every year in the fall, but the need is now. So rather than wait to fall to do something like this, it's a way to do it right now in the summer, and it's another great reason for people to ride and do good in the community.
That's just awesome. Congratulations on organizing that and in responding to the current need as well. Hey, Deltrice, I notice you've got a smart cycling class. This is focused on, I guess it changes, but this one is going to be on one that's coming up on June 30th, on how to confidently bike in traffic. This is an issue I've had. I am such a weakling that I would put one of those little baby flags on my bike, you know, that they put just so that cars could see me, because I'm so paranoid. Talk about what kind of things you cover in this class, and feel free to laugh at me along the way.
Yes. No, I'm not laughing. That is great. You know, anything that you can make yourself to be visible. So have a flag, have lights, light up your bike like a Christmas tree. That's what I say. There is no shortage of being visible when you are riding on your bike. So this class coming up at the end of this month of June is, yes, smart cycling on Zoom. And as a League of American Cyclists instructor, there are some classes that are, I would say, a little bit more structured, because they are intended to give you the facts and the laws of cycling and help you be a little bit more confident. So of course we are in this COVID-19 quarantine, so we'll be doing it virtually. With this class, the thing that's going to be missing is the on-bike riding portion. So we'll have to do that at another time. But the lecture portion, the content, the where positioning in the lane that would be best for you. Also information such as using your hand signals, how to approach when you are riding, there's freeway entrances coming past. You're riding next to that. That could be scary for someone, because vehicles are getting off the freeway and they're traveling at a high speed of rate and you're going slow. So it's information, images in that class that does help people. And people who have taken that class in the past, who they have said that they have really enjoyed the content and information, and it has helped them to just be a little bit more confident while they're on the road. Because a lot of times you're on the road and the cars are big and it can be scary and you can feel like, oh no, I don't know what to do. Well, we don't want you to do that, because the smaller you are on the road, that just gives the motorist the opportunity, like, yeah, you're small, get out of my way. No, just stand, you're on your bike, I'm here and I have a right to be here. So taking these classes helps bring that confidence up. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of these classes that we do have at Bike Cleveland, because that's what we're here for, to help people to get out and bike more.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's really great. And we've got a huge opportunity, it seems to me, Jacob, right now with COVID. I mean, I'm seeing all kinds of silver linings. The one with people not using their cars, you're seeing the environment responding dramatically to just a few weeks and months of the lack of CO2 from cars. You're seeing people's habits change. You know, we're seeing more people. We just did a big thing on hiking in the national parks this last week, and it's amazing how many people are getting out with their families that have never done it before. And a lot of this stuff is free. They could have been doing it all along. Are you seeing a fundamental shift in how people are looking at transportation, and that biking is going to become a more and more vital part of that, and we're going to demand more and more infrastructure to support that, because we see now, this is an opportunity, we see for the first time a different vision of how the world works. Are you seeing that as well?
You know, I think we are, and we certainly are seeing kind of the reactions of that in many cities across the country. You know, we're really working to try to push that conversation here in Cleveland to kind of rethink how people are getting around kind of post-COVID-19. One way we're doing that is we're having some community conversations next week, Tuesday and Thursday, in partnership with Neighbor Connections and their Neighbor Up network, as well as Cleveland Foundation and Clevelanders for Public Transit, who advocate for riders using public transit, to help kind of gauge community ideas and how they're getting around. And you know, if they're getting around different ways, do they like it, and do they want to see it stick around? Because you know, we are seeing more people getting out, walking and biking, and you know, certainly we would love to see that stick, and we'd love to see the infrastructure improve to encourage people to continue to bike and walk.
So you've got this event, bus, bike, drive, or stroll. It's a community conversation, so we can provide a link there. but of course it's all off your website as well, bikecleveland.org. Thank you guys for taking some time today. I know you're so busy. I just want to really thank you for the community, not just myself as a biker, but the community as a whole for what you guys have done and what you continue to do. This is a better community because of your hard work and the board and your members, and we are a proud member. I really wish that you would get more and more people involved. So let us know how Cool Cleveland can help, and I hope you all get out for a ride today. It's a beautiful day. That's important. Ride as much as you can. Thank you guys for taking a few moments.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much for the opportunity.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.